Okay, hello. My name's Ian Harmer, and what this is about is what Tewkesbury Update is about. Just trying to explain as briefly as I can, and I'm not good at being brief sometimes. One of these days, I'm going to have a good editing program, and then I'll be a lot briefer. But basically, the key words for Tewkesbury Update are local and news, along with some other very important words which are going to be critical to this whole idea: informative, entertaining, useful, uh, all the good things that you used to be able to rely on weekly newspapers for. Information about what's going on in your neighbourhood. Information about things that you might not even know existed, which all of a sudden can be useful to you. Um, be covering everything from people, the big events in family lives, big events at schools, at churches, local businesses, pretty much anything that you can think of that used to be covered back in the good old days when there were local newspapers which were just for the community in which they were based. You have to cover everything that you possibly can. You can't make it all positive because life will always throw a few negative things at you, but mostly upbeat, positive, celebrating, showcasing, spotlighting all the great things about Tewkesbury and the surrounding villages, communities, whatever. And it's really just an effort to connect the project Tewkesbury Update with Tewkesbury, but also to connect people a little bit better with each other, to just help us all to enjoy the community experience even more. And I think especially this is going to be helpful as the COVID experience lessens, as the lockdown winds down. We need to get back to a normal life. We've got no way of knowing whether this is just a little lull before the next wave of the disease. There are just so many awful words to describe it, aren't there? The flu, the pandemic, the plague, the however you want to describe it. But this news channel will, I hope, help us all just get back to normal, which is what we all want. It's what we all need. There will have to be advertising because this thing has to pay for itself, wash its face, as somebody in business used to say to me years ago when my wife and I were for a couple of years or so in the bed and breakfast business in, of all places, California. But somebody was talking about yes, how your business needs to wash its face, and that's really what it's about. It needs to be able to continue. It needs to be able to pay a decent wage to the small group of people who will be involved in it. I'm not looking to see a huge profit out of it. I think it's a bloody good idea, pardon me, and I think that it could apply to pretty much any community anywhere in the UK and far beyond these borders. But that's not the priority right now. The priority is to get Tewkesbury Update off the ground, and Tewkesbury Update may not even be the name that it has when it finally goes live on YouTube, because I'm concerned about the fact that people who live in the Tewkesbury Borough area but are fairly far distant from Tewkesbury town will not necessarily be interested in what goes on in the immediate Tewkesbury environs. But I think that's a tweak that can be taken care of down the road. The most important thing I think, is to get people engaged, interested. It needs to be useful. So when we do have advertisers, those advertisers will be encouraged to offer special discounts, special deals to our viewers. I don't want to call them subscribers. That's the word that YouTube uses all the time, as I'm sure a lot of you know. But viewers, I suppose, is what it comes down to. So that you can take your smartphone into a fish and chip shop and say, look, here you go. I saw your ad on Tewkesbury Update, and boom, you get 20% off, or something like that. I don't know. The details will need to be thrashed out with the individual businesses that decide that Tewkesbury Update is a useful advertising platform for their operation, and to help them with sales and growing and all the rest of it, recovering basically from COVID-19. But There are just so many opportunities that are going to present themselves as time goes by. The whole thing is an evolution, obviously. It's going to change as time goes by, improve as time goes by, just as we like to think we each of us does as we get older and smarter and whatever, and before our joints lock up and we're put out of business. But the whole idea is to have a community project. People will be encouraged to send in their own little videos shot on their smartphones. It'll be up to us to decide whether they're actually used or not. They'll have to be good. They'll have to be interesting, entertaining, whatever. They'll be edited as we see fit. They'll be put in slots as we see fit. But people will be encouraged to just join in and have fun with this whole thing. It'll have a serious side. It'll mostly be light, entertaining, something to enjoy at the end of the day, and something to celebrate, I think. An example of the sort of things that we're going to be doing are a couple of things that I'm going to be trying to put stuff up on the temporary, the holding channel, which is just under my name right now. The Black Bear pub down at the corner of Mythe Road and the High Street, which has been closed now for over 4 years, and which was a pub that Jenny and I loved to go to when we lived round the corner in Red Lane. Very briefly, we were there for about 3 or 4 months, and it was an easy walk for us, and a little bit more pub-like than the Tudor, which is basically it's nice enough, but the Tudor is basically a glorified hotel. You know, the bar is almost an afterthought. But we love going there and sitting there in the ancient rooms, which are certainly not as old as 1308, which is claimed on the sign, but very, very old for all of that. I think it's generally accepted probably mid 1400s, somewhere around there. But boy, that's old, you know. So here I am rambling on. I keep telling myself, you've got to put up a message which is short and to the point, but it's hard to do. And that's why I'm working very hard with learning an editing program, which is like, as far as I'm concerned, learning Chinese, but I'm getting there. And then eventually I'll be able to chop up these messages and add chapters, which enables you to jump from a subject that is boring you to hell to something new. And that will actually be available with this with this particular effort as well. But the pub is currently, as most people in Tewkesbury know, is currently being redone. It's been under the hammer or under the whatever builders for almost 4 years. Luke Haynes, who's the guy who's taken it on, very brave, probably insane, but hopefully he's going to be very successful with this venture. And I'll be talking to him about it and showing how it looks now, and then people can compare that with how it looks when it reopens. He's hoping for September, and I hope he's right. And then somebody else I'm going to be talking to this week, who fits into the category of just the kinds of things that we're going to want to be doing down the road, is Jill at Tilly's Cafe on Barton Street. And she's been surviving the lockdown by making wonderful pies, which are sold at Woody's and which she sells to her own regular customers. They're marvellous. Good old-fashioned meat pies, chicken, lamb, steak and this, steak and kidney, steak and Stilton, steak and ales. Oh, my God. And they're wonderful. Terrific pies, and I hope she's making a fortune at it. I would imagine that it's an incredible amount of very hard work, but nonetheless, that's a business in town that needs all the customers it can get, just like every other business, and just like we're going to need people to watch the news channel and get as much out of it as they possibly can. But the idea is local. That's the key. Interesting, entertaining, informative, useful. And that's the plan right now. And also, of course, I will be very much a background person. I'm not going to be doing all this stuff because I just blather on too much. And I've been told that several times. Can't help it. This is just an easy way of me describing what I want this news channel to be. And that'll help people who may want to become involved in various different ways get a handle on where I'm trying to go with it, and then hopefully we can all meet in each other's middles, sort of thing, and come up with a final plan before this thing goes live. Probably around the time that Luke is going to open his revived Black Bear, sometime around August or September. Anyway, thanks for your time if you managed to get all the way through this, and next time I'll be briefer.